I wanted to ask about education. I'm particularly concerned. And I've seen some of the studies, but it appears that we have a whole generation of Iraqi children that have become a lost generation, that haven't been able to go to school.
Especially girls, 30% of the girls that don't go to school, yeah.
And before that, before the invasion, there was basically no illiteracy. You had equality between girls and boys. And now we're fed lies that this Maliki government somehow is restarting education. Is there any truth in it?
No, I mean, I transmit the truth. 30% of our students, of our children in Syria, they go to the school only. They have no resources, right? And the same for Jordan. They have not enough money to go. In Baghdad, in areas where you don't feel safe, you cannot go to the far colleges or to the far schools. So that about 30% of the girls, 20% of the boys, in some areas they don't go to the schools. You could see it in the exam results, in the final results. Okay, they are corrupted even in the questions, and in some areas the success rate is 0. How come it's 0? And in some areas it's 95. You see, which is unusual and not accepted at all. As I said, there is a big corruption in every aspect of life. They now change the curriculum of the teachings and make it purely sectarian in nature, digging deep into these discriminative things and bad histories and bad stories, which is not real one, right? So I mean, just to dig deep and deep in partitioning Iraq to Shia and Sunni. And that is, of course, expected, because they want Iraq weak. They want, in the future, weak Iraq. And the only way of making it by dividing it into these partitions.
I choose 3 history happened in Iraq. First one, 1980. The party of Al-Maliki, Al-Dawah, attacked the professor and students, people, and the State Minister Tariq Aziz.
Yes.
More than 100 persons. And party Al-Dawah, party Al-Maliki recognized in that. And in 1983, Islamic Council, Al-Hakim party, member of this party attacked the embassy of America and the embassy of French in Kuwait. And this party announced that these 2 persons who control or use as contact link and attack the people, actually now there are the parliament and the democracy process. 1987, and he was there in the Ibn Bitar, the heart disease Ibn Bitar in Baghdad.
When?
Ibn Bitar.
When, which year?
1987.
All right.
When Hizb al-Da'wah also, Al-Maliki party, attacked the hospital of heart disease and killed, you know that. You think these kind of people, killer and now a decisions maker, lead the democracy process in Iraq or let the terrorism process?
I said it today. I mean, democracy cannot be. You cannot buy it from the street or the market. Democracy is a culture. To apply democracy, you should have requirements, special requirements. How can you apply democracy in a country where you have the income of a person less than $5, or the whole country doesn't produce anything apart from oil? or I mean, the requirement you should have a standard education, standard of health. How much you spend on health? 2% of the whole budget, even if it is in billiard. You see, Jordan, the whole Jordan budget is $7 billion, all right? Now in Iraq, $72 billion. Jordan put 10%, 10.2 of the budget for health. We put only 2% of the budget for health. So you can imagine what sort of a status you will have. You can imagine how many graduate you will have. You could imagine how many researchers you will have, how many research you publish, how many papers you publish. These are all important, I mean. And that's why if you go to a good 2 articles by our professor from London, he will tell you that there are now 107 states cannot be democratic because the requirement is below the standard. What we need in Iraq, in fact, I'm not looking for democracy. Let the other people say that. I'm looking for emptying the country from the occupation. You dismiss those occupied people. Tahrir, you need the freedom, right, to start with. And then you need development. Tell me, yani. You should develop yourself. And once people feel that they are healthy, they are wealthy, they can eat good eating, good food, good everything, schools, teaching, then at that situation, the country will go to the democracy. Like what happens here in Europe. They were not democratic before they developed themselves. In Iraq now, everything, my brother, is destroyed. So you think now if they bring the American democracy, all right, in Iraq, it will be applied?
Exactly. Is the democracy in USA divided the people black and white? Why in Iraq divided Iraqi people, Shia, Sunni?
This is another story here, you see. I mean, you could expect that Obama, when he came to the White House, a lot of people, they reject the idea. It's the White House because it's only for white. It's named White House for white. How come Obama come to? And that is why, you see, okay. How could religion be democratic? I mean, even in our religion, they said everything is by God, and that they said that those religious people are the representative of God, and they have the same sort of things. If they said yes in Iran now, if the Khamenei said no, all other people should say no, even if they vote 100% of them. That's the religion. Do they believe in election? Do these religious parties believe in election? So how come they come through the elections? I mean, this is a fallacy, yeah, for sure. And that's why they are hated now by even religion. If you go to the mosque now, Iraqi mosque, they are empties. Because if the religious people like this, they killed and they corrupt and they misuse the women, they misuse the... How come then the country will develop? The American has chosen those to rule the country. You believe? This is America's state of freedom. They dismiss Saddam and the Al-Ba'ath party and they replace him with those people. So what's democracy they were?